I would like to finish up on cancer. This is covering 8.5. Good morning, college biology student. Hopefully everything is going well for you and everybody's staying healthy and distancing themselves to slow the spread of the disease. Okay, so on 8.5, cancer, some things that some of them we looked at and some we'll add a little bit. Now, first of all, cancer, it lacks differentiation. What does that mean? It means that it doesn't have a job. When you take a look at the cells in our bodies, we have about 255 different types of cells, and they have different jobs. Red blood cells carry oxygen, white blood cells fight disease, skin cells, help protect us, help waterproof us, keep things, they're our first line of defense against pathogens, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Cancer cells don't have a job. All they do is divide and form a huge mass. So they do nothing good for us. They also have they have abnormal DNA. We went through that the last little lecture. They have mutations that cause this cell to grow abnormally fast. They have no apoptosis. Remember that's the cell programming to die. So in a lot of the cells, when they go awry, we just kill them. They kill themselves, basically. It's almost like a suicide. It's going bad for the cell, so it just dies. But they don't do that. Then another bad thing for them is they form tumors. Why do they form tumors? They have no contact inhibition. Remember when skin cells, you put them in a petri dish and they grow until they hit each other and then they stop growing. They don't have that. They will just keep piling up on top of each other, and that pile, so to speak, is a tumor. And that's that abnormal growth of cells that lack differentiation and really have no job. They also will go through that process of angiogenesis, which they'll make a new vascular system to feed this mass. Two types when we're taking a look at the cancer, two types in general are benign and malignant. Benign is that early stage of the cancer where it's growing, but it's not moving from place to place. It's in one spot. Malignant then is when it actually spreads. Now, in some textbooks, they call the benign, they call them non-cancerous, and the malignant is cancer. I'm not quite so sure I like that, because you could have a benign tumor in your brain that doesn't spread, and it could kill you. Non-operable benign. So sometimes that benign is a little misleading. It can still be very dangerous. We also took a look at that metastasis. That's when that malignant, that's when it's going throughout the body. It's being transported through your lymphatic system, or it could be your cardiovascular system, and going throughout the entire body or in different places in the body. All right, so let's say we have cancer. What are our possibilities? How can we get rid of it? Now, the number one way you fight off about any cancer is early detection. Keep it when it's at stage 0 or 1. What are some things that we can do? If it's in a localized place, we can do surgery. We can remove it. We can also, again, if it's in a localized place, in some places we can just bombard it with radiation and just kill the cells. If it gets too far along, those probably are not options any longer. Then we have to go through some type of chemotherapy. Now, kind of the neat thing about chemotherapy is, the ones that we have, they're from, like on this one, the vinblazin. They're in a flowering plant. Another one called Taxol is from another plant, the bark of a Pacific yew tree. Almost everything that we have are drugs that fight off about anything. We find them in other organisms, whether it's an animal, a plant, a protist, a bacteria, or whatever. The answer is usually out there. We just have to find it. The good news is we can zero in on some types of cancers and fight them with these types of chemotherapy. The vinblastine prevents the spindle from forming. So when it's going through mitosis, the nuclear division, and lining up the DNA in the middle, it prevents them from forming. And the other one, that Taxol, inhibits the normal spindle formation. So either of those are inhibiting the cancerous cell from lining up the chromosomes in the middle. So basically it kills them. That's the good news. The bad news is, it can't just go to the cancerous cells. So what are these narrowing in on? What are these two types of chemotherapy narrowing in on? They're attacking cells that are reproducing really fast. And so it will attack those cancerous cells drastically. Unfortunately, it doesn't know which cells are the good cells and which ones are the bad cells. We haven't found out a way to tag them yet. So it kills a lot of the good cells too. And why do people lose hair when they go through chemotherapy? Is kind of one of the things that happens a lot of times. Why? Because your cells in that are producing the hair follicles, they're dividing really fast. These drugs are attacking cells that are reproducing really fast. Well, cancerous cells aren't the only ones. So it will attack and kill those. People that are on chemotherapy are usually very, very weak in state for a while. Why? It's killing way more good cells than it is bad cells. But again, right now, that's the best we can do. Hopefully someday we'll be able to tag those cells, and it only attacks the cancerous cells. Another thing that is taking place and is called immunotherapy, and this is fairly new. And basically, you're activating your own system to fight those cancerous cells. We have things in place that we took a look at, that the cells, they will kill themselves, go through that apoptosis when they become cancerous. So if we can activate the cells just to do that, the normal process, and kill themselves, that would obviously be awesome. This is pretty new stuff. The Nobel Prize in Medicine, 2018. And kind of cool, one of the recipients is from the University of Texas that is kind of one of the front runners in this immunotherapy. So hopefully in the near future, we'll be able to activate our systems to fight off this cancer. Okay, what are some things that increase the chances of cancer? The huge one, and you probably already know that, is cigarette smoking. We figure about 30% of all the deaths due to cancer are related to cigarette smoking. Skin cancer is on the rise with the increased amount of UV radiation coming through our damaged ozone layer. Heavy drinkers. It really increases mouth, throat, esophagus, larynx, and liver cancer. Obesity, about 40% increase in some cancers. And the ones with our houses being so well insulated and airtight, the radon gas is becoming more of a problem for us. Okay, well, let's take a look at some good things. Let's say that we want to do some things that will help to prevent cancer. Antioxidants. What can we take that are antioxidants? Okay, what's an antioxidant? It prevents the formation of free radicals in the body. What's a free radical? They gain or lose electrons basically, and they're high energy, and they can damage the DNA. What does it happen with? In the normal metabolic processes of your cells, we give off these free radicals. So how do we slow these, and how can we take any foods that are high in these antioxidants? Yes. Vitamin A found in the dark green leafy vegetables. Vitamin C found in citrus fruits. And I'm in luck, dark chocolate. Pecans, blueberries, strawberries, raspberry, kale, beets, spinach, carrots, coffee. I'm in luck again. These two should make me live a long time, hopefully. But these things will help reduce the amount of free radicals in our body. So these are things that can help hopefully deter this cancer from happening in our bodies. Okay, that is the end of our 8.5. Stay safe. Thank you.